With a fabulous $230,000 pot of gold at the end of the Indianapolis Rainbow, drivers and crews are tuning and checking the cars for the qualifying test. 4 times around the 2.5-mile oval, and you either have it or you don't. The hopes, the aspirations, the heartaches of a year's work lie in the balance of a single qualifying run. The pressure is on among the 67 hopefuls who are straining to qualify, but it's only the 33 fastest cars who get into the race. Drivers' wives watch anxiously. Fingers are crossed. Drivers are pushing cars to the limit of mechanical and human endurance. Time is running out as crews check and recheck motors for that extra mile per hour. Weather is important. With only 2 weekends of qualifying, the rain can wash away your chances. But on the opening day of the qualifications, the day is bright and clear with a moderate wind. The stands are crowded with racing enthusiasts from all over the country. And year after year, the fans meet here at Indianapolis to renew old acquaintance. Jack McGrath in number 4 straps himself into his seat, and the track is cleared for the test. He moves out onto the track. A hushed expectancy hovers over the crews and spectators as he roars around. And Jack McGrath qualifies at better than 136.5 miles an hour. Almost a new record. The lid is off. Sam Hanks guns his Bardol special around the track. Hank's crew checks his time, and he qualifies at better than 135 miles per hour. Thin man Sam rolls onto the apron to get a jubilant welcome. Andy Linden's now on the track. He's pushing his number 9 around at a record-breaking pace. And he does it. Set a new 10-mile qualifying speed of 137 miles an hour. What's a family for if not to share your happiness? Roy Ruttman moves out to take the test. He's the sprint champion of the West half-mile tracks. 22 years old and a family man, too, with 3 fine children. Ruttman qualifies. Veteran George Connor knows now he'll have to push his car to the limit to match the terrific qualifying speed. Connor's in trouble. Something let go and his rear wheels locked. Here he is at the end of a 700-foot skid. Look at those skid marks. Now the vaunted Diesel Special makes a bid for the record. Flying Freddie Agabashian sets a new single-lap record of 139 miles per hour and pounds around the 4 laps to break the qualifying mark at 138 miles per hour. Flying Freddie is a happy man. He's won the pole position for the race. The record again, and Bill Vukovich does 138.2 miles an hour. Sonny, you can clap for me, too. When you get a smile on a poker-faced Bill, you have really done something. Joe James' crew signals him as he strives to win a place among the starting 33. James qualifies. Fortunately, there's been only one mishap so far in spite of the terrific pace. The famous Tony Bettenhausen goes out, cheered on now by his 2 boys. Tony's the master of the dirt tracks, the 3A champion, driving the car that won last year's 500. Tony's shooting for the record, but he's hitting those turns at a terrific clip. His car is out of the race, but Tony's merely suffered a bruised arm. Manny Ayulo's wife watches tensely as Manny makes his bid in number 8. He's moving fast. He's qualified at better than 136 miles per hour. He's in the race, and he's safe. Manny Ayulo is pretty happy, too. He's right over here, Manny. His fingers still crossed. Looks like some people have all the luck. Bettenhausen, dubbed Hard Luck Tony, is out for a second qualification attempt. This time in Lou Moore's, number 27. Mrs. Bettenhausen, fingers crossed, watches anxiously as Tony tears into a turn. Tony qualifies. Mrs. Bettenhausen is all smiles now. Here's the 49-year-old Chet Miller, the oldest driver entered in the Indianapolis Classic. It is nobody's special. He's already gone one lap at 139.6 miles an hour, a new mark for a single lap around the 2.5-mile oval. Now he's out to break the 10-mile qualifying record set by Vukovic. Chet Miller does it. The record has been broken for the 4th time at the average speed of 139.034 miles an hour. And Mrs. Miller, fingers still crossed, is the happiest wife of all. This has been the fastest qualifying session in Indianapolis history. But there's one thing these drivers won't worry about. That's tires. Again this year, every car in the race will roll on Firestone. These daring drivers know tires, and they all buy Firestone tires for their fast, expensive race cars. They won't take chances on anything else. The dawn of race day. This is the day that brings 200,000 of the faithful to this auto mecca. They've waited and waited, some as long as 2 days, with lines outside the gates 4 and 5 miles long. Now at 5 a.m. in the dawn's early light, they pour into the infield of the race oval, intent on finding the best vantage points for watching this biggest spectacle in American sport. If you don't happen to have a grandstand seat here, well, you build your own. With hours to wait before race time, an al fresco breakfast will taste good. Then a few more hours to kill. Hours in which the drama tension is building up. Did I say tension? On the track, activity starts early. This is the preliminary work that builds into tense expectation. Cars and crews in the final stages of preparation. 1,001 important details. As the cars roll onto the track, tires are again checked by the Firestone tire engineers. Tires, you can well imagine, are all important. Nothing is left to chance. Pressures must be exact. Everything as perfect as human ingenuity can make it. The grandstands are filling now, and the colorful pageant that always precedes the start of the race begins with the Purdue University Band. The whole country wins at Indianapolis because out of racing innovations has come much that today is part and parcel of the family car. On the sideline. Attention is divided between girls and cars as the racing mounts are rolled toward their starting positions on the track. Wilbur Shaw says good luck to Duke Nayland as the drivers make their last-minute preparations. Leaving nothing to chance, Bill Schindler's goggles are taped against the sun. Now they're in line to start. But first, the traditional balloon ceremony. There's a fairly stiff breeze out here today. Only seconds to go. And the pace lap begins. Once around the track, form into position, and the race will be on. Bobby Ball's car won't start. If his motor won't turn over before reaching the starting line, he's out of the race. But there he goes, just in time. Here they come, 11 rows of 3 in perfect precision. And they're off, and the race is underway. McGrath takes the lead. The diesel falls back from first to fifth. McGrath stays ahead after one lap. But Rathman in 59 and Ruttman in 98 are pressing him hard. Every lap is worth $100 to the leader. Ruttman, the 98, moves into the second slot. Vukovic in number 26, coming up fast. The lead-footed Vukovic now passes Rathman for third. He started 8th, remember? McGrath, the number 4, sets a 4-lap record of almost 131.5 miles an hour. Vukovic in 26 moves up to second after 5 laps. Ruttman in number 98 is third. Vukovic about to overtake McGrath, and he takes the lead on the 7th lap. The 33-year-old California, the Fresno Flash, driving hard all the way. Ruttman in 98 passes McGrath, number 4, to move into second place again. Pouring it on out in front, Vukovic in 26 begins overtaking the tail end of the field. He sets a new 10-lap, 25-mile record average of better than 132.5 miles an hour. The diesel has fallen back. He's now in 6th place. Parsons is 10th. He won the event in 1950, the only former winner in today's race. Looks like Andy Linden is in trouble. Yes, Andy's out after 20 laps, the first to quit the race. Oil line trouble. That's a tough break. Bobby Ball's car stalls. He's the second to be forced out after 34 laps. It's 85 miles. There goes Ascari, the European champion, and the only Italian Ferrari to get in the race. He's 9th and a skillful contender. When the Ferrari spins, the frozen wheel bearing, knocking a rear wheel. Larry tries to smile to hide his bitter disappointment. He was the first real foreign threat in almost 20 years. Bill Vukovich in 26 sets another record, 50 laps, 125 miles at 132 3/4 miles per hour. That's $4,300 in lap money. He's gained a lap or more on every car in the race except Ruttman in 98. Chet Miller's record-breaking Novi is out for good with a sheared-off supercharger shaft. Sam Hanks in the Bardal Special is now third, and he's crowding Ruttman in second place. The pace-setting Vukovich goes to the pits after 60 laps, and Ruttman in 98, only 29 seconds behind him, now takes the lead. But there goes Vukovich. He's now 55 seconds behind Ruttman. He's really rolling. Look at that 26 goal. The diesel's out of the race. An air feed to the turbo supercharger clogged by dirt. It's better to quit than to risk fire in the exhaust gases that might blow up car and driver. Ruttman, the 98, still in the lead, averaging 131 miles an hour. On the turns, tremendous speeds and powerful side thrusts tend to tear the tire apart. These tires must hold, and they do, thanks to the genius of Firestone tire engineers. Ruttman has to go to the pit on his 82nd lap, with Vukovich only 44 seconds behind and moving up fast. And Vukovich again roars into the lead. Ruttman's car is on fire. Hot exhaust has ignited spilling fuel, but Ruttman stays in his seat. The fire is out, and before the CO2 dies away, he pulls back into the race, pushing hard to make up that heartbreaking 2 minutes. Bill Schindler spins right into his own pit, and that was a close call, too. But a checkup shows Bill's car is okay. At 90 laps, Vukovich sets another record. Almost 130 miles an hour of average speed. Rathman is now second and 59. Ruttman in 98, Western Sprint Car champion, is third. Sam Hanks, number 18, is fourth. Tony Bettenhausen comes in for a quick check. Tony is ready to go again. Look out! Tony's car stalls as Henry Banks pulls in ahead of him. They can't get Bettenhausen's car started. He's out of the race. Tough break. Now Johnny Parsons, number 5, is making life miserable for Sam Hanks, number 18, in fourth place. Not for long as Parsons finds himself dragging. Parsons has had transmission trouble, but it's not going to keep him out of the race. Vukovich and Ruttman are breaking all records in their battle for every lap. Some of these cars hit 165 to 175 miles an hour on the straightaways. At this lightning pace, heat buildup in the tires is terrific. No wonder they say that 500 miles on the speedway equals 50,000 miles on the highway. Vukovich makes another pit stop, and Ruttman in 98 takes the lead on 135th lap, while Vukovich loses a precious 2 minutes in the pit. Vukovich, now 40 seconds behind Ruttman, gets back into the race. He's really driving hard now as he dives into the turn after Ruttman. Caution is tossed to the wind. It's all or nothing, and he's closing in. Ruttman's pit crew is warned him that Vukovich is coming up fast, gaining in fact at the rate of 4 seconds a lap. So the 22-year-old Ruttman is pouring it on too. A few moments later, he's forced into the pits. Once again, Vukovich takes over first place, while Ruttman waits to get underway. Pit stop has cost Ruttman 55 seconds, and Vukovich stays out in front with a 28-second lead. This chilling seesaw battle for first place is going on now for over 400 miles. Only seconds apart, and time is running out. Every lap is through. With Vukovic pouring it on, Rutman loses ground and is warned by his crew. 9 laps to go. Rutman gives it all he's got and cuts the lead from 35 to 25 seconds. Vukovic has to maintain the terrific pace to stay ahead. Vukovic hits the wall. With victory in sight, his steering gear goes out. Bill, luckily, is unhurt, but what a heartbreak. There's a guy who rode the race of his life, stayed within 9 laps of the greatest victory that the sport can bestow. And now Rutman takes the lead. What's happened to Vukovic? The crowd's looking for Vukovic, but all they see is Rutman driving hard and alone, out in front. The yellow caution flag signals the mishap. Vukovic and his 26 are a sorry sight as Rutman and the rest of the field pass the wreck. The green flag is out again, and the race resumes at top speed. The crowd wonders, can Rutman hold this terrific pace? Rutman gets the white flag, only 1 lap to go. Jim Rathman is now running second. Sam Hanks in the Bardolph Special is in third, and Dwayne Carter, number 1, is fourth. And there's the checkered flag and victory for Troy Rutman. 500 miles at a record average speed of 128.922 miles an hour. Here he comes toward victory lane, the winner. The first time any driver has gone those 500 grueling miles in less than 4 hours. Troy gets a refreshing drink with 3-time winner Wilbur Shaw's Victory Cup, while movie actress Arlene Dahl stands by. Troy's winnings, $61,743. But right now, Troy collects victory kisses from his wife and mother while the newsreel cameras grind. And to the Vice President of Firestone Research and Development, Ray Firestone, Troy gives heartfelt thanks for the performance of his tires. 500 blistering miles without tire trouble of any kind. The 29th consecutive winner to ride to victory at Indianapolis on Firestone. No doubt that Firestone tires are safety proved on the speedway for your protection on the highway.